There is one more way we can paint our model, and that's using a clone stamp layer. Now, a clone stamp layer is essentially a special type of brush that looks at a location on the model, and then it tries to blend a part of that into another part of the model. To use the clone stamp brush, we're going to have to add in a paint layer. I'm going to move this all the way to the top here. And something which is really important about using the clone stamp is that we need to change the blend mode for our layer to pass through. So I'm going to change this layer to pass through, and I'm going to set the channel to color. And I'm also going to copy over any height, roughness, metallic, and normal information that we find. To use the clone stamp, we need to press this button over here. And this is going to change our brush a little bit. We're going to now have, if we press V, this square that we can position on our model. And this little square is going to remain relative to our paintbrush when we start painting. So if I start painting here, we can see that the square is following my cursor, but with the offset that I originally set while holding down V. Now this is going to allow me to replicate some kind of part of the texture onto another part of the model. This can be very useful if you have a tricky spot, but you don't want to change all of your layers, but also you want to keep your look consistent. So in this case, I really just wanted to remove some of that metallic damage that we had here. And I want to try to blend it a little bit more into the rest of the texture. Another really cool thing about the clone stamp is that it's actually a non-destructive layer. So what that means is that if I go back to our paint layers and I start changing the values of this orange paint, so let's see if I add in a new color here, if I make this reddish purple, you can see that the clone stamp has now also copied over this information, even though it is actually a paint layer.